The reason for me to introduce 6 perfections or 6 paramitas, because I want you to know that there are 2 kinds of practitioners in Buddhism. I always remind this to you before I talk. One kind of a practitioner, we call it Hinayana. Hinayana means a small vehicle. This practitioner just wanted to ride bicycle to carry himself or herself to achieve enlightenment. Another kind we call Mahayana, a big or large vehicle like a bus. This practitioner not just trying to achieve enlightenment by himself, also he carries other passengers at the same time. So Maha means big, Yana, vehicle, big vehicle. If you say, I wanted to be a Hinayana practitioner, basically Eightfold Path will be enough, Eightfold Path. Or 3 studies, precepts, morality, meditation, and wisdom, that will be enough. But if you say, I wanted to make a vow to be a Mahayana practitioner, then we better to understand 6 paramitas. Okay. The first one is generosity. You have to be generous, be able to share, to give, to support others. Show your kindness, show your compassion. The second one is precepts, morality, the paramita of precepts or morality. Okay. You be able to take care of yourself and also respect others, okay, in daily life. Then we have forbearance. If you don't talk to people, if you don't do anything, probably it's simple. When you wanted to serve others, you have to have patience, endurance. Nowadays, I feel maybe forbearance is a better word for this paramita, the paramita of forbearance. Then the paramita of effort or diligence. Continue to work on it. Okay. Then the paramita of meditation. Last time we discussed this paramita already. Today, the last one, the paramita of wisdom. In Sanskrit, prajna. Yeah, prajna paramita. The paramita of wisdom is very essential, very important. That is the core teaching of Buddha. Without this part, we cannot say this is the Dharma. Okay, today, after we understand this part, then I want you to look at this statue, the biggest statue. We call this statue Guanyin Bodhisattva. I discovered that even in America, many people, they know Guanyin Bodhisattva. Not long ago, last week, a neighbor of mine, she went to Bodhi Center. She saw the statue. Oh, this is Guanyin. I said, yes. It's very popular in China, even in the West. And we have many different kind of Guanyin statue around the temple. At the Jade Buddha temple, in the front, we have one standing in the middle of the lake. All kinds of a statue. Actually, we try to use it as educational purpose. You are going to see the statue standing on a creature, maybe alligator. I don't know the name in English. Maybe you think alligator. Bodhisattva is standing on the alligator. That means loving kindness, compassion can conquer violence. Okay? How about this statue? There are arms around it. Artists in Buddhism, they try to express this Bodhisattva has a great ability to serve others at the same time. So many others at the same time. Reaching out to all living beings. Over here, we have 48 arms. Have you ever counted 48 arms? Some are 18, some are 6. It doesn't matter. But some are 1,000 arms. 1,000 arm Guanyin Bodhisattva statue. There are a lot of arms. But the meaning is, this Bodhisattva tried to express his or her compassion toward living beings. So they use arms as a way to show he's very able to help all kinds of living beings. There are 1,000 arms there. Okay, that is one of the meaning. Also, if you check the statue carefully, traditionally, artists, they have to put one eye in each palm. That is another meaning. Whenever you have a chance to help others, you have to be wise. You have to have wisdom. Just like opening your eyes. Before you do, you wanted to see things clearly. You don't want to do anything out of ignorance. So that is the meaning of it. So whenever we see statues around the temple, actually there are meanings of it. But we have to study those meanings. Okay. So today I wanted to use Guanyin statue to show there are two kinds of meaning. Arms represents loving kindness, compassion. Eyes in the palm, that means wisdom. So whenever you wanted to do something, you have to have wisdom to guide you. Okay. Let's think. When we do something, if we don't understand the things we are doing correctly, clearly, sometimes it's going to cause trouble. Maybe we are harming others out of goodwill, out of a good intention, but without clear understanding, without wisdom. We made wrong decision, maybe wrongdoing. That is very, very harmful. Okay. I remember many years ago, when I was in Hong Kong, one day I read a news. There was a group of Buddhists in Hong Kong. They wanted to express their loving kindness toward lives, respect life, saving lives. And in China, actually, we have certain kind of practice to do this. Okay. Sometimes you go to markets, you buy fishes, birds, turtles, all kinds of animals. Somebody will eat them. You purchase those creatures from vendors and liberate those lives. In ancient time, actually, you don't want to make order for this. Okay, today I wanted to order 5 pounds of fish. Maybe the what do you call it? 渔夫是 fishermen. They are going to harvest, some fish for you. So it's not allowed. But today, some people they wanted to do something good, but out of understanding how to do it, and how to understand which way is the best way. In the news, they say they bought a lot of birds from shops, pet shops. So many birds, cage by cage, maybe hundreds of birds. Put them in the temple and conduct a ceremony. After that, they liberate all those birds right away. After a few minutes, reporters, they discover many birds couldn't fly anymore. Do you know that in a pet shop, they wanted to control the bird. They cut their wings, make it short. Those birds are not going to able to go back to nature. They only, maybe good for the pets. They cannot fly anymore. So some of the cats around the place, the cats tried to catch those birds and eat those birds. There was a very negative news in Hong Kong for this kind of a practice. So sometimes we wanted to do something good out of a good intention, but without proper understanding, without wisdom, the doing may be not beneficial. It's very important for us to understand this part. Secondly, I wanted to discuss that we always talk about faith, belief. How about faith without wisdom? How about belief without wisdom? And today, let me ask you the meaning of these two words. What is the definition of faith? How does it,
I believe it means it's constant, fidelis, and it's a belief in something.
Faith is a belief in something. So faith is related with the faith. Okay. Faith is related with the belief. Okay. All right. That means we can use this kind of a meaning to express, the contents I wanted to introduce. According to Abhidhamma Kosa, 是俱舍论. In this book, Venerable Shiqing, he explains, in Buddhism, we consider faith is emotional expression. Faith is emotional expression. When I feel I have faith in you, I'm going to believe in you. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to follow you. Actually, most of the motivation from faith is based on emotional feelings. Faith is related with emotion. Okay? And also, according to Venerable Nagarjuna's explanation in his book, the Book of Great Wisdom, he says, faith or belief, just like hands, is able to pick something, to grab something. The problem is, right now, I'm going to use my hand to pick an apple. So I can eat apple without any problem. My hand, my faith, my belief is going to pick one apple. I can eat the apple and also support my body. How about I have a faith, I have a belief. I'm picking a poison fruits from the forest. At the same time, I'm going to eat it. Faith can be dangerous. Faith just like a hand. If faith without wisdom, that means you don't have the idea about this fruit you are picking on. Sometimes it's eatable. Sometimes it's not eatable. We have to be careful. Okay. So according to Buddhist teaching, faith is emotional feelings. When you love someone, you have faith in it. You have a belief in this person. You trust in this person. Until you lost belief, you lost faith, then you have some change in your mind. Otherwise, this emotional feeling is just very strong. When I love you, I'm going to believe in you. I will do anything you like. Okay? But when I don't feel I'm going to continue to love you, then I may change my mind. So in this kind of condition, 100% faith in something, at the same time, out of your emotional feelings, definitely you are going to against something. I like apples so much. I don't like oranges. So you are going to eat apples all the time. When you say, I don't like oranges, maybe you are not going to touch oranges. So it's interesting for us to know, what is faith? How about faith without wisdom? Faith without understanding, that will cause trouble in our daily life. And if we accumulate negative energy based on this faith as a religion, then we have conflicts with other beliefs as well. So these are the facts that we are trying to explain. How can we manage faith properly in Buddhism? We do emphasize faith is important because it's just like a hand. Okay, I believe in this map. I believe if I drive on I-45, I'm going to reach Dallas. But I never accept this kind of understanding. Then this kind of information is useless. So understanding how to go to Dallas, make sure 45 is going to direct you to Dallas, then put it into action, just like a hand. You do it with your own action. Then you can accomplish it. But in Buddhism, we never allow Buddhists to accumulate too much blind faith without wisdom. We have to be balanced. Belief, understanding and belief. We have to develop at the same time. Okay. Today, let me read a sutra for you. I don't see any kids around. That's good. They are not ready for this sutra. This sutra is for adults, for people who are able to think and also to understand how to follow, how to use it. Yeah. Long time ago, when Buddha was traveling in India, one day he passing through Kalama village. He stopped there. And the villagers heard this news. So they went to Buddha's place, pay respect to the Buddha. Then they asked Buddha this question. Buddha, you are here today. Are you going to teach us like others? We villagers, we have seen so many teachers passing through our village. And many of them, all teachers, they say they are the best. Their truth is ultimate truth. Okay. But after we hear from different teachers, we discover there are contradictions among them. One will say apple is the best. Another will say orange is the best. Which one is the best? Okay. So we are confused. Buddha, are you going to do the same? Tell us your teaching is the best. Buddha said, no. If I wanted to answer this question that you just asked, I'm going to say this to you. Okay. So Buddha taught all the villagers on that day with this kind of a teaching. Actually, it's very long. I found a short translation for today. Okay. Buddha said, do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. Do you agree with it? Yes. And do not believe in traditions because they have been handed down for many generations. Long time ago, when I was in Taiwan, there was a tribal tradition in Taiwan. Every year, those people wanted to please their God. How to do it? Kill a man, use his head as an offering. Nowadays, probably, all of us, we don't feel it's right. You should not kill some people and to please your God. But in those days, they strongly believe in this kind of tradition. And it's a right Wu Feng Mr. Wu Feng changed their tradition finally. Actually, he sacrificed himself. They didn't know this is Wu Feng. Wu Feng was a great teacher who tried to change their belief, their tradition. Okay. Do not believe in anything because it is spoken and rumored by many. One people say, oh, I don't believe. One person say, I don't believe. Two people say, let me think about it. Many people say this, oh, maybe I should believe in. Today, when you go to internet, be careful. So many informations there, yeah. And if you check on the numbers, how many people visit this information? If there are so many people, are you going to believe in this information? Be careful, be careful, okay? Do not believe in anything simply because it is founded, written in your religious book. Okay, it's very hard for other, religious group, because when you say, oh, this is my religious teaching, it's not many people be able to do any kind of question or do any change. Long time ago, there was a book in the front. The title is Buddha taught the sutra on the universal cause and effect. 佛说三世因果经. I didn't notice this book was in the front. One day I tried to check the book. The title is The Buddha Said. But after I read the book, it's not Buddhist teaching. So I tried to eliminate this kind of books, put it in the shelves over there. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. All religions, we have hundreds or thousands of years history. Sometimes we wanted to know which one is the original teaching, which one is not, which one is important teaching, which one is accumulated by traditional practices, culture practices. Yeah. Do not believe in anything merely on the authority of your teachers and elders, including me. Do not believe in anything merely on the authority of your teachers and elders.
Including Buddha.
Yes. Okay, yes. Do you know that a lady talked to me last year? She participated, a group of people in Houston. Actually, this group is pretty large. It's all over the states. She was a member of this group for many years. I know this lady for about more than 30 years. One day, she came to me. She told me that she left this group because in this group, the teacher told them, the teacher can cure all kinds of illness, all kinds of disease. When you are not feeling well, you don't see doctors. You don't go to doctors. You just practice the way they teach you. She's a nurse. This lady is a nurse. She knows that many people's life can be saved. She said at least 15 people, 15 friends she met, they all passed away. So finally, she decided to leave this group. 15 lives caused by this kind of teaching, because they strongly believe in this teacher. Anything you say, I'm going to follow you. You say, I don't have to see doctor, I'm not going to see doctor anymore. Okay? And I have seen this phenomenon still going on in Houston. Okay? But after observation and analysis, when you find that anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and the benefit of one and all, then accept it and live up to it. Okay, that is the conclusion for this sutra. Okay. At this moment, let's move to the last part. We don't want it to have a blind faith. We don't want it to be wrongly believe in anything. We wanted to develop our right understanding, increase our wisdom. How are we going to do it? In Buddhism, what is wisdom? Wisdom means be able to see everything as the way it is. Be able to observe everything you see as the way it is. It's not easy. It's not easy. According to Buddha's teaching, okay, there are 3 ways. 1, listen or read a book or listen from others or teachers. 2nd, through your analysis. That is the 2nd way. The last part is you have to have strong concentration in order to penetrate to the reality. Otherwise, all kinds of understanding is very superficial. It's not profound enough. Only with concentration, then you are going to be able to observe, to see things as the way it is. So there are 3 ways. Based on this practice, through meditation, Buddha discovered these facts, this truth. Everything we see is conditional. Everything we see is conditional. Jade Buddha Temple is conditional. This program is conditional. My body, my existence is conditional. And how to describe this kind of phenomena? There's a special word, interdependency. Everything we see is interdependent. Interdependency. I'm here not just individually here. Actually, I depend on so many conditions. I depend on you all to come in order to have this class. I have to breathe the air, to use oxygen to support my energy. There are so many conditions around. Because of this, so in Buddhism we say, we are related with everyone. We are related with everything. So that's why we have to love each other. We have to support each other. We are all related with each other. Okay. Based on this teaching, interdependency, in Buddhism we develop another teaching, the universal law of cause and effect. Be able to understand this law is very important. What are the causes for good consequence? Also try to avoid those negative causes to produce negative consequence. In daily life, we have to be aware of this, understanding this natural law, the cause of effects. Buddha never say, I invent this law. No. Actually, this is a natural law. Buddha discovered this law. Today, when I drive on the road, I try to avoid dangerous situation. I don't want to follow trucks or next to trucks. Okay? And try to do something correctly in order to protect yourself. And also try to help others in the right way. Also because of this teaching, interdependency, there's another teaching. Everything is changing, everything is impermanent. Based on interdependency. The first one is the universal law of cause and effect. Okay. The second one is impermanence. I think we all have chances to hear impermanence. Yeah. Because of impermanence. So we have this group here today. Because of impermanence. Everything is moving, changing constantly. Nothing is stopped there for any minute. Everything is changing, including our body, our mind. That is the facts. That is the truth. Because of this impermanence, if we go further, if we observe everything profoundly, then we are going to discover the empty nature of everything. We call this sanyata, because sometimes when we say emptiness, you say, oh, this is empty, nothing there. Actually, in Buddhism, we say empty nature means these instruments, even I'm using right now today, the nature of instruments is empty. Nothing there permanently exists in it. So it's changing. When we think about ourselves, we always feel this is I. There is very strong attachment. I feel I'm a real, I'm unchangeable. Okay, I'm here. Until we look on those photos from 1 year old to 30 years old. Oh, I'm changing, from baby to adults. So you discover that which one is you? Everyone, all the photos are you, but not. You cannot find one photo to represent you, is right? So I is changing, my self is changing. Okay, following this, we eventually will accept this reality. Someday I'm going to die. I have to abandon this body. So this body is not mine, but we have fears. We are afraid of losing ourselves. So we have another concept. I have a soul. This soul will stay there forever. In Buddhism, we don't use soul to explain the facts about life. Because what is the meaning of soul? Soul means unchangeable, permanent existence of yourself. But the problem is, if I ask you, if somebody's soul is white, it's going to be always white. It's not changeable. It's right? Because something there is not changeable. How about another person's soul is black? It's always be black. Black. It's not changeable. So that will create a conflict of understanding. Something is not changeable there. That is my soul. Then how can I improve myself? How can I change myself? The reality is we are changing all the time, mentally, physically, and psychologically. We are changing all the time. Yesterday I didn't, know this. Today I improve myself. I understand this part. So everything is changing. There's no permanent inherited in anything, including so-called ourselves. Okay. And all right. Okay. We have about 5 minutes or 4 minutes left, so I'm trying to figure out what should I continue to say. So today, perhaps let me stop, my talk at this moment. I hope all of you understand that why we wanted to practice the paramita of wisdom. Okay, we wanted to eradicate all kinds of wrong belief or blind faith. At the same time, we wanted to have wisdom. After we have a right understanding, then faith, belief will be followed and to improve ourselves. Otherwise, actually, we're going to face a lot of problems with wrong understanding or blind faith. Yeah. So this is the main concept that I wanted to present.